books bought for huge advances by inexperienced editors. Yeah, remember, inexperienced editors that were following orders from corporate, by the way. Hired post George Kirby have flopped, including $500,000 queer feminist novel that sold 3,500 copies. And all of those to libraries, probably. And Elliot Page's $3 million Transformer memoir that sold 68,000 copies. Again, probably entirely to libraries. If only someone would have told them that no one actually wants this. People pretend to support this stuff as a virtue signal, but no one cares. Man, I wish that there was a group of people on YouTube that were warning them about this for years. If only such a group existed, we could have avoided so much trouble. The woke books that were bought for huge advances by inexperienced editors have flopped commercially, insiders say, to nobody's surprise. The ideological fanatics allowing their politics to dictate professional decisions have seen profits slump, according to industry experts. Is it okay to talk about this in the open now? Because this is what I've been saying from the start, but now the mainstream media is starting to say it too. So does that mean it's okay? Does that mean it's safe to speak the truth again without being worried about getting deplatformed constantly? So among the works responsible for huge losses is the once hotly anticipated memoir by actor Elliot Page. Ooh. Can't use the real name without getting in trouble though. About his journey transitioning, Pageboy received a $3 million advance, but has sold just 68,000 copies. Industry standards suggest that publishers paying roughly $7 per book sold is considered a good deal, according to insiders talking to the Free Press. That would have been considerably less, yeah. That means that even if the books that sell tens of thousands of copies, such as Pages, can still tank commercially. Yeah, that's just common sense. It doesn't matter the sales numbers. What really matters is the cost. Because shit, if they paid $100,000 and sold 68,000 copies, they would have made a profit. Other recent woke flops are Carolyn Farrell's Dear Miss Metropolitan, described by the New York Lies as a story of three young girls, black and biracial, who are kidnapped and thrown into the basement of a decaying house in Queens. And let me guess, the perpetrator is a straight white man, right? The novel was acquired in a deal estimated to be worth more than $250,000, but has shifted just 3,163 copies since published in current year -2. Oh God, it's been 2 years. Another example is Queer Feminist Western Lucky Red by Claudia Cravens, which has sold around 3,500 copies despite commanding a $500,000 advance. Oh, these writers are just fleecing these publishers at this point. But hey, the publishers are eating this up. Don't have any sympathy for them. Meanwhile, established white authors have complained that they're facing more barriers to getting published. Crime novelist James Patterson drew criticism after he likened the situation to just another form of racism. I mean, it literally is. He later apologized, cucked out. But a similar point was made by Joyce Carol Oates. A friend who is a literary agent told me he cannot even get editors to read his first novels by young white male writers, no matter how good. They're just not interested, she said. But it's okay when a woman says it, though. All right. This is good to know. Like this is why I think we're going to see a lot more, white men have like black female pen names going forward. Again, this is the same thing women did in the past. Like back when women were kept out of certain professions, they adopted male pen names so they could be taken seriously. Yet now guys are going to have to be doing the opposite. If they want to be treated fairly, they're going to have to adopt female pen names or something. Like we already saw that like a few years ago in that poetry competition, right? Like this white guy submitted a poem to a magazine and got rejected. And then he changed his name to an Asian name and submitted that exact same poem. And not only did he get accepted, he was winning awards for the exact same poem. Nothing shady going on here. So it is also something editors themselves have acknowledged, but you're not allowed to say it, though. Everyone knows it, but you're not allowed to say it because that makes people uncomfortable. Now, we flat out decided we weren't going to look at certain white male authors because we didn't want to be seen as acquiring that stuff. One senior editor told the Free Press, and this is just an advertisement for indies, as far as I'm concerned. And why I'm not going to feel sorry for any of these people when they're losing their jobs as the independents replace them. There's going to be no place in the new industry for these race hustlers. And when asked whether editors acknowledged they were discriminating against writers because of their skin color, the editor replied, "I don't think it's worded quite as blatantly as that. It's worded more like, is this the right time to be championing authors of more traditional backgrounds?" So yes, they are discriminating against writers because of their skin color. They just reword it this way just to make themselves feel better about how racist they are. So often the language was a bit opaque. Another editor at a major publishing house admitted to the outlet that those seeking to pursue more conservative works must be willing to deal with interpersonal discomfort, being treated as marginal or looked at with suspicion by their colleagues, or avoid this entire system altogether and strike out on your own. That is also an option. Several industry experts noted a trend towards hiring editors of color in the wake of the overdose of George Kirby and the wave of racist riots that followed, a move they described as overtly political. At least they're honest. Among them was, Nagieli Nieto, hired by Flatiron, who bought Rashid Newson's "My Government Means to Kill Me" for $250,000. How much did it sell? So far, the sales tracker BookScan, it has sold nearly 4,500 copies. Oof. However, the platform does not monitor digital downloads. Were they at least paid digital downloads? Were they at least that, or was it all piracy? I bet this shit isn't even pirated. Like, man, nobody wants this. So Nieto joined the publishing house in the wake of the uproar over a novel, American Dirt, a book about the Mexican immigrant experience written by non-Mexican author Janine Cummins. Oh, nice. Yeah, you got all these industries are doing this. They're going to they're going to police themselves into bankruptcy. I'm just going to laugh, though, because I don't plan on working with any of these companies. In fact, I view a lot of them as competition. Hey, if my competition wants to take themselves out, I'm not going to stop them, man. I'm going to encourage it. Yeah, go ahead. Keep doing this. Yeah. Just show everyone how serious you are about DEI. Show everyone how virtuous you are. Other newcomer editors include stand-up comedian Phoebe Robinson, who oversees the Penguin imprint Tiny Reparations books, and Adenika Olanrawaju, who has secured one deal since becoming editor of HarperCollins in current year -2. One deal. Nice. Olanrawaju is a publicist at Penguin and the newsroom distributor at New York Lives prior to the move. Oh, dude, you should be hiring better people, man. No wonder you guys are all collapsing. But even those of the prior profile are not immune to a commercial flop. Former television host with Jameel Hill spent months promoting her memoir Uphill across various networks, but nobody cared. But despite the media blitz, the book sold just 5,034 copies in a few months and failed to crack the top 200 on Apple Books. Yeah, but I'm sure that while she was campaigning, she got a lot of likes and retweets on Twitter, right? Oh, she got a lot of social media attention. That must be a good sign. Now they're learning that the virtue signalers on Twitter don't ever actually put their money where their mouth is. Man, if only someone could have told you that sooner. Former HarperCollins and St. Martin's Press editor chalked the flops up to a generational change. It just so happens that in this case, a new generation is a generation of ideological fanatics, Bello told the Free Press. Well, you're not exactly wrong, I guess, except it's not the customers. Those that are screwing everything up are the people you hire. They are at odds with what the customers actually want. Do you realize this? You keep appealing to the wrong people. You keep making everything for 0.01% of the population, and 99% of them don't even buy this shit, and then wondering why you're going broke. Yeah, whatever. Keep putting yourselves out of business. At this point, the sooner the legacy industry resets itself, the better off we'll be. And we're going to need new companies. Like, these old companies are irredeemable. They hired too many woke activists that are not going to let them change course. They rely on government officials and handouts and tax breaks that are not going to be too happy if they try to change direction. In fact, they're going to try to force this stuff on everybody. It's not going to be pretty, man. But these old companies, yeah, they went too far. They're not redeemable anymore. Best we can hope for is that when they burn down, someone competent will rebuild on the rubble, because that's the only outcome that's the only possible outcome we got left, really. But until the industry resets itself, let's just enjoy watching the show.